Hi, I hope you had a bit of a break before continuing. We have gone through a lot of information, but we left the most exciting part of configuring VSNext to the end. In this episode, we will see the latest and greatest option, configuring VSNext using the GAIA API calls directly. Note that this is possible also in Elastic Excel, but we chose to show it in VSNext as it would be a more elaborate demonstration of this option. Just to recap on previous episodes, we covered the basic configuration both in WebUI and in Gclish, as those would be the standard in provisioning a scalable platform cluster. These tools are effective and would give you what you need to manage your security network, but they can take you so far. If you want to think and do out of the box, just stick around for the next few minutes. Since scalable platforms support the GAIA API, Checkpoint developers decided to take it a step further and expose the REST API platform in a way that will allow us to execute commands on a whole cluster with a single request. This platform will have the same capability as our GAIA Gclish, but with many advantages. Utilizing the GAIA API for scalable platform cluster provisioning integrates seamlessly with tools like Ansible and Terraform, as well as various monitoring systems. This integration allows you to run automations, reducing manual intervention, minimizing the risk of human error, and significantly improving efficiency on all levels. Unlike the traditional methods, there is no need to maintain an SSH connection or navigate the WebUI to deploy whole clusters or even adjusting a single setting. API calls deliver instant feedback on requests, providing real-time monitoring capabilities that assist in quick adjustments and issue identification. Additionally, it facilitates effortless remote management of different clusters, allowing you to efficiently control them from whichever setup you choose to work with. In this episode, we will create and delete virtual systems and vSwitches. We will check their configuration, show how to insert the interfaces with and without a vLink to vSwitches. Our chosen setup to execute all of this would be the Postman application, sending API requests directly to the gateway. As you can see on the screen, it is split between the WebUI on the left and the Postman on the right. First, we need to log in the gateway by sending an API with the gateway IP address of VS0, which is the primary VS as seen on the screen now. You can insert the IP address of VS0 or to create a new IP variable that contains the IP address of our VS0 and save time on the need to type it in every time. The Postman login request contains the password and the username of VS0, so after sending the request, we will see the response at the bottom of the screen. The response shows the API server version, last login, which member was accessed. Read-only is false, which means we have write permissions, session timeout, SID, URL, and the virtual system we are working on, which is VS0. Let's start with creating a virtual switch. At the top, in the main post field, we can see the API request we are about to send. Let's look at the body of the request, where we can change the values based on what it is that we want to do. We have the following parameters: ID, which sets the VS ID we are accessing. We can insert any number we want between 1 to 512. Name, the name of the vSwitch we want to create, and interfaces, the interfaces we will choose to connect to this vSwitch instance. Let's now send the request. You can follow it on the WebUI. After we send the request, we get the task ID in the bottom pane of Postman. We can copy and paste it in the show task function to check the status or follow on the WebUI task table. This is the end of the first part of this episode. We will continue with the GAIA API configuration in the second part.